Tonight on KGW News, a frightening scene recorded by a Hillsborough doorbell camera.
When we saw that video, we couldn't believe it. We were like shocked.
Plus, a family struggle to get help for their son's mental health ends in tragedy.
You shouldn't have to commit murder to get mental health care.
KGW series Uncommitted looks at why Oregon's system makes it so hard to get that treatment. And it's a decision many of you might have on your May ballots. The latest request for more of your tax money to prevent cuts in emergency service. A very good evening, everyone. We begin tonight with that troubling video of what police say appears to be a kidnapping. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Mulco. The moments were captured by a doorbell camera in Hillsborough, and a warning, they are both upsetting to see and hear. Catherine Cook caught up with people who live at the house where it happened. Catherine?
David, they tell us they don't recognize the woman seen screaming for help or the man who ran up and grabbed her seconds later. But Hillsborough police hope someone recognizes them and knows where they are. The video is heart-stopping.
Please help me! Please help me!
Police say this possible kidnapping was captured by a doorbell camera at 10:48 Sunday night. It happened near Southeast 32nd Avenue and East Main Street in Hillsborough.
When we saw that video, we couldn't believe it. We were like shocked.
Please help me!
Marisol and her family live here.
We were traumatized.
For safety reasons, she's asked that we not show her face. Marisol says she doesn't recognize either of the people in the video. After missing the initial doorbell, she says she got the video alert and called 911 right away. She hasn't stopped thinking of the woman's screams.
Help me!
She looked scared, and her voice, you can tell that she was like frantic and she needed help. And the way she grabbed onto the door on the video, if you see it, that is like not normal.
Hillsborough police say it appears the suspect drove off in an extended or crew cab white pickup truck without a canopy. They're asking for help identifying the man and woman and untangling what led up to this moment. Marisol is grateful her camera worked and hopes it makes a difference for this woman.
I just want her to be found. I just want her to know that she's safe.
Anyone with information about what happened or the identities of the people in the video is asked to call Hillsborough Police or 911. David?
Yeah, it's just disturbing video. Thank you, Catherine. All right, we have some breaking news now, and an Amber Alert issued late tonight in Washington where police say they are looking for Elias Huizar and his one-year-old son. Investigators say Huizar shot and killed his ex-wife outside an elementary school in West Richland, Washington. That's about 40 miles north of the Oregon border across from Umatilla. Police then found a second woman dead in his home, believed to be his girlfriend. Washington State Police say Huizar may be trying to get to Mexico. The car to look out for is a silver 2009 Toyota Corolla with Washington plate CBZ 4745. Huizar is also a former Yakima police officer. If you see him, call 911. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, the Marion County Sheriff's Office is asking for help finding a teenager. Deputies say 14-year-old Devin Whiteshell, who is developmentally disabled, walked away from a care home in Salem near Ward and Lancaster Drive Northeast around 5:40 this evening. They describe Devin as 5'2", wearing a gray zip-up jacket, dark blue or black jeans, and carrying a small book. If you see him, please call 911. On the Oregon coast, a man has died after falling down a trail near a popular scenic spot. This is around 2:30 Sunday afternoon near Natural Bridge, north of Brookings. The Curry County Sheriff's Office says the victim, 69-year-old Richard Earhart from California, was hiking with his wife when the two got separated. She made it down safely to their car without knowing her husband had fallen. Earhart was taken to the hospital where he later died. And a Clark County jury has found a Vancouver police officer not guilty of assaulting a shoplifting suspect. Body cam video from last May shows Officer Andrea Mendoza pulling down Elijah Guffey Prejean's pants and threatening to tase his genitals. This was after Prejean admitted to shoplifting from a Walmart. Mendoza told the jury Prejean was resisting arrest and had fought with her. Her lawyers argued that Mendoza's actions were reasonable considering the circumstances. We are now less than a month from Oregon's May primary, with many voters set to decide whether it is worth raising property taxes to pay for public services. Alma McCarty is here with a look at Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue, which is asking residents in its district to pass a levy to fund nearly 100 positions. Alma?
Yeah, David, they are asking for a new levy that would replace the one voters approved back in 2019. This time it will cost a bit more, with a possible 3% property tax increase. The fire chief I spoke with says they've been effective and efficient in making the most of the public's tax dollars and hope voters will agree to keep supporting them.
Always on standby, Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue now asking the public to stand by them.
And we want to be able to provide fast and effective response when people call 911.
To sustain that, Chief Cassandra Olvin explains they're seeking a 5-year operating levy, which, if approved by voters, would cost the average homeowner about $210 per year, or around $17.54 per month.
And you need a certain amount of firefighters to effectively fight fire and a certain amount of people to provide advanced life support during those critical medical emergencies.
The need detailed in a virtual town hall Monday night.
If our levy attempts fail and our current levy expires, we would have to make significant reductions in our workforce.
With no replacement levy, TVF&R leaders say they'll lose 92 staff members. But if passed, Tualatin Valley keeps those 92 responders and adds 36 more.
This provides us the ability to plan for the next decade and to maintain that reliable, effective emergency response that our community expects and deserves.
And you hit it right there. They deserve it. Right? And we want to be able to continue to provide that service.
Service spanning parts of 4 counties and 11 cities to the more than 500,000 who live in the district.
We do not take our community support for granted, and they have to face a lot of competing demands, but we're hopeful that the information that we're providing this evening and ongoing through all of our community interactions will be useful so people can make an informed decision.
And along with funding those positions, the levy would pay for new specialized equipment like cardiac monitors and firefighting tools like the breathing masks that crews wear in burning buildings. The current levy expires in June 2025, and if passed, the replacement goes into effect at that time. David?
Thank you, Alma. The U.S. Supreme Court heard arguments today in an Oregon case that could have major implications on how cities deal with homelessness. This landmark case centers around Grants Pass, which tried to block people from sleeping and camping in public spaces. At issue whether those rules violate constitutional protections against cruel and unusual punishment, and if local governments can enforce laws against people sleeping outside when there is no shelter space.
Where do we put them if every city, every village, every town lacks compassion and passes a law identical to this? Where are they supposed to sleep?
We usually think about whether state law, local law already achieves those purposes so that the federal courts aren't micromanaging homeless policy.
Well, the justice has repeatedly conceded that addressing homelessness is a complex policy issue, but some conservative members expressed doubt that a lawsuit was the best way to deal with it. The court should release its decision by the end of June. Straight ahead on KGW News at 11, a deeper look into Oregon's flawed system when it comes to mental health, the deadly consequence one family faced while trying to get their son treatment. Plus, the shadowy sighting that had some in Corvallis doing a double take.
I'm Matt Safino. High clouds moving over this afternoon and tonight. I'll let you know what impact that'll have on tomorrow's weather. Today we made the 70s. Tomorrow gets even warmer and then the big cool down.